T3 audience. Welcoming all to another thought provoking and informative session of T3 podcast series Bolder Voices, Better Insights. Through each of the episodes, we bring to you the platform where we embark on an interesting roller coaster ride with the industry pioneers and explore the nook and corners of the hospitality, tourism, and travel globe. Today, we have with us a very interesting personality who has been contributing to the travel and tourism industry for the last 3 decades. His passion for tourism and hospitality and zeal towards the growth of the industry is simply incomparable. He is currently the president of Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India, and also he is the member of CII National Committee of Tourism and Hospitality. So without any further ado, me, Kuhilika Roy Chaudhary from Travel Trends Today, welcome Mr. P.P. Khanna for an insightful journey as well as the lovely audience joining us today. Hello, Mr. Khanna.
Hi, Kolika. Thank you very much for inviting me on this forum. And I would like to say that you have spoken too much about me. That let me tell you that I am a simple person and trying to promote the tourism of India. And as everybody knows that domestic tourism is the key engine today for the tourism in India. And blessing in disguise that the corona had come, and after that the importance potential of India has come out now with the Indians. That exactly I want to say. And I am the president of the Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India, like you introduced me. Our aim is to promote the domestic tourism for the Indians and within India. That's our main actually aim, and we are trying our best efforts with my managing team and my own almost about 900 members pan India, where we have almost about 12 chapters pan India, and we are trying our best to promote the domestic tourism, which is the actually our total the fortune, and we are seeing that that even our own honorable Prime Minister, who's our tourism ambassador, is also talking about the DEKHO APNA DESH. So for that, on the lines, I would like to say that we are promoting that our own DEKHO APNA DESH, and that's exactly our motto to promote the tourism in India.
A brilliant welcoming note to begin with, but with proceeding towards the interaction, Mr. Khanna, post-pandemic, I think a lot of changes in the tourism globe have occurred. The scenario before the halt is totally different from what we have today. So I think the audience would like to know, what are your views on the growth of domestic tourism post-pandemic?
Post-pandemic, yes, as everybody knows that today, let me say that tourism and hospitality is the only chain which has growing very well post-pandemic, and we have seen that the potential of India. And like I said that due to restrictions on the inbound and outbound, and during the pandemic, though domestic tourism was the way forward, and which was the only engine which was really moving slowly and slowly. It took a very fast speed, and people were really wanted to understand the potential of India, because they had no choice actually to go out of the country and to only visit within India. So that was a golden chance for our the domestic tourism to promote, and we have seen that there is a quite speed in the domestic tourism, because it's very, very important that only stakeholders of the tour operator cannot do anything without the support of the government. So the center and the state government tourism boards, they had very aggressively doing their marketing during the pandemic, and post pandemic they had seen that India is a very, very rich country, which we were not thinking. Basically, we were thinking that we only inbound, we can be survived only by the inbound. But fortunately, when the Indians, started, traveling or to visiting their hotels or to resorts or to different ventures, they realized that India is a very, very potential as also a very rich country. What they were expecting from the foreign tourists, they saw that even Indians are the high spenders. That was the best thing which they realized. So that was the time when we really started even the promoting the heritage hotels. And the palaces, the forts which are in Rajasthan, mainly in Rajasthan. They people they were talking very high about that when they started, promoting the domestic tourism. And today, if you really see, they do not want. I'll not say that we need the foreign tourists also, but on the other hand, they need that they have been fed by the domestic tourism. 90% people are the hotels are full by the domestic tourists only. So that is the the strength of the domestic tourism. That is the power of the domestic tourism, which now they have realized, and they said that we don't want the foreigners. So that's a good sign for the domestic tourism, and we are very, very, proud of it that we are successful, and even the domestic tourists today, all the tour operators are very happy.
Beautifully explained, Mr. Khanna. And as we have all noted, that 90% of the hotels and the agents are totally relying on domestic tourism. I think it's a great way to look forward. So, apart from the positives, Mr. Khanna, if we draw a little light on the negative side, or maybe on the other side as well, what challenges do you think domestic tourism has? What are the factors that are hindering its growth? What are the possible challenges for the agents, and what is the possible solutions going forward? What do you think?
Uh, in every industry, there are challenges and there are opportunities also. Now you have to look into that how you really meet the challenges and how do you benefit the opportunities. That's more important. In tourism, yes, we have a lot of challenges, definitely, and we have seen that now it's very, very important to how we can really work together with the state tourism boards and the center. I will not say unfortunately, but I will say definitely that our infrastructure is not as well as it should have been. Our connectivities are not good as it should have been. Now we have 28 states and 9 union territories, 37 total now. If you really see that, today our own central government, the Minister of Tourism, he is also a minister for the donor, which is the Northeastern regions, development of Northeastern regions, he is a minister. The ministry is doing very well about that, the connectivity, about the infrastructure, about the, different aspects of the tourism to grow the tourism into country. But we still are lacking a lot of things. Now the challenges are that we want to promote Northeast, but the connectivity is not good. Infrastructure is not good. Hotels are not there. Resorts are not there. Transportation is a problem. So these are all these factors and the aspects which really are the hitches in the promotion of the tourism for this, particularly if I'm talking about the Northeast. Let us take an instance of the if we want to go to the Himachal, suppose. Now there is a scarcity of hotels. You must have heard about the when the lockdown opened, there was a revenge tourism in the people.
Yes.
Why it was revenge tourism? Because people wanted to go out immediately, and there was a huge crowd on the Himalayas, in the Himachal, in the Nainital, Uttarakhand, everywhere there is a particular in the hills because it was a summer season. Unfortunately, we had a scarcity of the hotels, scarcity of the vehicles, and even the roads. So that was the main challenges which we really realized during that, particularly when the lockdown opened. After that, the lot of states, they realized that there should be a kind of a carrying capacity, data along with them, which was not available till date. And still, till date, only Uttarakhand has started, yes, that every day they will be allowing only 5,000, the tourists to Uttarakhand to enter into Uttarakhand. But what about others? They have really followed the rule of the Vaishno Devi, where you have a permit to go to the Vaishno Devi temple. Okay. But there are a lot of, other states which are still not following. They are still saying, Aane do, business to aa raha hai, but this is not the way. If you don't have, the sufficient hotels, if you don't have sufficient transportation systems, how can you allow the people to go there? Almost about 10 times we have shared this to all the state tourism boards. Kindly share the data with us to the tour operators and let us make a task force along with that, the state tourism board with the stakeholders, so that you can really share the data about the hotels, about the resorts, about the transport system there, about the attractions in that particular state, so that the tour operators, if they want to send it to particularly that area, they only send those kind of a limited people to those areas. There should be a educational programs for the tour operators, which is not happening. So these are the challenges which we are facing as a tour operator. Once we have a task force, once we work together with the state governments and the state government, definitely these challenges can be converted into opportunities. Another challenge is, which is a very big challenge for the tour operators, is online tour operators, OTAs. Now what happens? Now all the hotels, because they want to get the business. Who doesn't want to get the business? Everybody wants to get the business. But if you are giving to an online travel agent or to a consolidator who's a big agent, okay. Now here the small tour operators have been really killed like anything. So this is the problem which we are facing. They give them the rates which are really below to our what exactly we really quote to our clients. The rates are very, very less than what exactly we quote. So here is a challenge of which we have already shared with the ministries, and ministry has understood this problem, and they are also in the national tourism policy. They are doing a lot of things about that. It should be a kind of a capping on that.
So, Mr. Khanna, you have beautifully mentioned about the positives and the negatives and the challenges and opportunities at the same time. But after considering all these factors, how do you see the trend in recovery happening post-pandemic?
Post-pandemic, the trends has totally changed. Let me tell you. Now, the people and the tourists are more near to the nature. These trends are changing now. Now, earlier, everybody wanted to go to Mall Road. Particularly with the families, they want to go to Mall Road. They want to stay near to the Mall Road. Now, the trend is changing. Now, the people say that we want to go there where there is not such a crowd, which are crowdless, the destinations. They want to explore the new destinations. They want to explore the destinations which are near to the nature. And they want to go there where there is a kind of a people, those who are serving, like in that case, the trends are changing into from the 5-star hotels. Now people are love to go to the homestays. Because already, everybody's today is working under the stress. Any business, if you see any work, if you are working, there are a lot of stress in the place. So they want to go out of that and they want to go where there is a kind of a peace they get, and they want to stay some time with their families. And also, as I said, that homestays are becoming more popular than the luxury hotels and there. Because in the luxury hotel, it's the same thing. Once you go to the luxury hotel, you find the same things, everything, the service, everything. Yes, definitely, you get the good services. Here, you are very much sure about that the food you are eating is a really home food. And they ask you what kind of food you like to like. Like my own experience, every day the cook used to ask us, in the breakfast what you like to have, in the lunch what you like to have, in the dinner what you like to have. So according to our taste, So that trend is changing, where the people are into near to the nature, and they want exclusive their own kind of a nearer and dearers along to spend the time with them. So that exactly is the new trend which actually is following now.
Beautifully answered, Mr. Khanna. As you have mentioned about the several trends that have changed, travelers' mindset that has changed, figures that have changed, I think that brings to us to that part where we get a chance to know a little towards what is happening on the association side as well. So I think the audience as well as me, I would like to know what is the roadmap for ADTOI? How is it looking like? How is the roadmap of ADTOI looking like, and how is it contributing towards the growth of domestic tourism in the current scenario?
Yes. Uh, there are a lot of roadmaps. We have made it, and without the support of the government, without the support of the center and the state governments, even we cannot do anything. So it's very, I mean, I'm thankful to the Ministry of Tourism and all the state tourism boards that they are really giving good support for the promotion of the domestic tourism. And that's exactly where we can really do a lot of, the tourism factors along the way. So the roadmap is that exactly that we want to do a lot of things along with that, the state tourism boards. One is that, that we want to do that, like I said, the educational programs with the state tourism boards. That's more important. A lot of our tour operators, they don't know about the Northeast. They don't know where to send and how to send the tourist. What are the attractions there? What are the attractions in, suppose in Nagaland? What are the attractions in, in Meghalaya, in Assam, in any other, the northeastern states? So that kind of educational programs are very, very important. For that, our roadmap is that we want to do educational programs with them, and we have already written the letters to all the state tourism boards to have kind of a educational programs for our tour operators. Another thing is that that we also want to do a pan India. It's a pan India association. We want to work with all our the tour operators. Today, a lot of tour operators, when they join the association, they ask why I should join or why I should be a member of ADTI. So that's a big question for all of us. First of all, you are connected with the 900 members. These are the members. These are the members in Maharashtra. These are the members in the Gujarat. These are the members in Jammu and Kashmir. These are members in Leh Ladakh. These are members in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, everywhere. So you know about that connected. You are connected with them. Secondly, once you become the member, we also tell you to become, to apply for the MOT approval. Today, if you get the MOT approval, you have been benefited by the MDS schemes. You have been benefit with other the factors where the data is not available with the government. So you are like a licensed tour operator with the Ministry of Tourism. That's another benefit. Today, as I said, that we have a challenges from the OTAs, online tourism. So we thought, why not to have some kind of consortium? Consortium means that we work together with each other. Like I'm sitting in Delhi, I can talk to my any hotel here in Delhi that I will give you, suppose 100 nights, room nights in a month or 2 months or 5 months, whatever it is. So all people will come to me. We will make a consortium that all the hotels which require pan India in Delhi, so we'll contact Mr. P.P. Khanna. The same in Andhra, if the people are asking for, everybody here some kind of special rates, so we can take a special rates for them from the hotels. When we give the figures, what OTA today are doing, they are also giving some kind of a figures, consolidated figures to them that we will give you 500 nights or 1000 nights. That's the reason they are giving the best rates to them. The same way we are wanted to know that. So that exactly we want to work with them in a consortium way where we work with each other. That is our, and another thing is very important, the roadmap. Actually, we want a lot of things to be done for our members. But still, these are in the pipelines. We are working a lot of, like in the women empowerment, we are working a lot. So So bringing women apart into the businesses and to working along with that, the men shoulder to shoulder. That is our actually main idea.
That's brilliant to learn about ADTOI's roadmap for future, Mr. Khanna. But as we understand the roadmap for the future, I would like to ask you how closely, in the current scenario, you as an association working with the government at the center and the states, plus I think the audience would also know a little on the ADTOI's annual convention. So if you can share some details about that as well.
See, today India is doing this G20 presidency, and under the G20 presidency of India, we are very closely working with the Ministry of Tourism and Center and the State Tourism, and already two G20, the this presidency. I mean the seminars have been finished. The first it was in Rann of Kutch, where we had gone along with the Ministry of Tourism, and we worked with it. We really discussed with a lot of the foreign tourists about that, how we can really, and we had shown them the Ministry of Tourism was very actively. And second was in Siliguri and Darjeeling, and third is going to be in Kashmir, and fourth is going to be in Goa. So where we are working very closely with them, how we can really promote the tourism for the foreign tourists. It's not like that if we are doing domestic tourism that we are only considering the domestic. We need the inbound also. Basically, at last, whether it's an inbound, it's a domestic. We are promoting India as a destination. So that's actually the main idea. So under this presidency of the government, there are a lot of things has been happening. Like we are working for the ecotourism, we are working for that, the rural tourism, we are working for the responsible tourism, sustainable tourism. Also, we are working for the responsible food. Our aim is to promote the hotels also in the way so that people, once they go to a particular hotel or to homestay or to any 3-star category, they understand that the food is very safe and secure. Apart from that, you are working on the cruise tourism. Now, the cruise is in India. India is very lacking about the cruise tourism. And we have started now with our own people, with the government, and we are working with the government to how to promote the cruise tourism into India. Film tourism is a very another thing, very important thing. Now India has a lot of good destinations where film tourism can be promoted. Unfortunately, it's not promoted well in a right manner because of the problems with the one window clearance window. And we have already discussed with a lot of the Rajasthan tourism. We have discussed UP is the only number one which has only one window clearance in the film tourism. But we have spoken with now they have done also Rajasthan tourism under the new policy, tourism policy. They have done one window clearance. We are talking to the Gujarat tourism. They are also trying to do the one window clearance thing. Apart from that, we are working with the another thing. Now that what I was talking to you, G20, the third is going in Kashmir. That will be considering all the film tourism. You must be knowing about that. So they are doing for the film tourism. So these kinds of film tourism, apart from adventure tourism, is another thing. Now, people in India are a little bit scared about doing the adventurous activities in India because they are not sure about the equipments, what will happen once they go for the paragliding, when they go to scuba diving, whatever will happen. So we are talking to the ministry along with the Adventure Tourism Board, along with the Adventure Association, that how we can really promote adventure because India, let me tell you, India is a very young country. Almost 68% of the population is under 35 years.
Yes.
So we are very young. So young country, they need adventures. So adventure for that we need to, if you really want to promote, that you need to promote the adventure tourism in such a way where we feel really that it is an adventurous country, where you can really enjoy the adventure in India, to make it, how we can really make it safe and how we can really kind of create a confidence in the minds of the domestic tourists that how we are safe in the adventure tourism. So these things we are happening with the the state and the all this central government.
But Mr. Khanna, I asked you the second part of the question, which is, can you kindly share some details on EDTY's annual convention?
Yeah, convention. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. The second year convention. Uh, we are talking with the two tourism boards at the moment, and already, though I never wanted to disclose it, but Madhya Pradesh we want to do that, and Madhya Pradesh, our the head of the department tourism, he has already okayed it, and about the convention, very soon we'll be doing that, and we'll be declaring that, because a lot of other the state tourism boards are also trying to contact us, and we have already contacted them. Like if I'm talking about in Kashmir, we are talking about in Uttar Pradesh, and in another is Maharashtra. They are very much interested to do the EDI convention. But Madhya Pradesh, it is already been okayed by the principal secretary, and we're just waiting for the approval of the the letter from them, and maybe very soon we'll get the letter. As soon as we get the letter, then we'll discuss the dates and we'll declare the date for the convention. But I think 99% will be in Madhya Pradesh.
Definitely looking forward to it. So, Mr. Khanna, you have mentioned about the role of agrotourism and rural tourism in your
Yeah.
presentation. So, considering the role of India's rural and agro heritage in making India a vibrant and responsible tourism destination, I think it definitely holds a great potential. So, to be precise, how do you think rural tourism and agro tourism is contributing to the current domestic tourism scenario?
See, rural tourism in India has a huge potential, and it's multi-facet, which entails the agriculture tourism, farm tourism, agro tourism, and craft tourism, nature tourism. Everything is considered. And for it, I mean, you must be knowing because you are from the media. 69% of the population are staying in rural tourism in agriculture in India. And almost we have 6,48,500 villages in India. So we have huge villages in India, and 69% of the population which is staying in the rural areas. And very important is that we have to consider, and we are working very closely, not with our state governments only, but trying to work with the villages and to adopt few of the villages which is under pipeline. We have not done still, we have not really adopted any village, but we are trying to adopt that. And our Honorable Prime Minister said that Atmanirbhar Bharat. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is what that? It can be only be Atmanirbhar once the locals are skilled, and once they are skilled, they can really produce their local products, and they can really cater to the tourist. How we can really promote it? That's a question. So for that, we have to really, first of them, we have to make them skilled to all the locals, to tell them that their potential. How do they can really promote? Once they understand, once they are skilled, automatically, once a tourist go, he will be happy to see that he is getting a pure food, very organic food, as well as he will see a different experience from the city. Another thing very important is that marketing support is very important for them. So promotion of give them the marketing support physically and technically, and the promotion of different their promotion of lot of festivals are happening there, and lot of their the culture programs which they do, their folk dances are there. All this we have to really promote in such a way so that really they find themselves that they are really self-reliant. That exactly I want to say.
Definitely. I think that's all we wanted to know about rural tourism and agro-tourism's contribution to domestic tourism from you. But Mr. Khanna, we also want to know a little on the MICE tourism side as well, as this is one of the emerging market segments from India. So, what are your views on MICE tourism contributing to
See,
domestic?
mines is a very, very big segment, and thanks to the Ministry of Tourism that they are realizing the importance of the mines into India. Lot of the mice and the weddings which are going out of the India. There are few reasons about that. The reasons everybody knows about the our taxation policies. Our taxation policy is very strict about that. If you really our own neighboring countries, like if you're talking about the neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, Dubai, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, and whatever our neighboring countries, their tax structure is very less from our own structures. Today, that people are going to Dubai for the marriage, they are going to Thailand, they are going to Sri Lanka, they are going to Turkey. Turkey is doing very well now. Belgium and Italia, these things are doing, a lot of marriages are happening there. Why they are doing? Because everybody is finding that to go to those Turkey or to different countries are cheaper than doing the weddings in India because of our tax structure. So MICE and wedding is a very big segment. For that, we are really after the government to reduce the 18% to at least 5%, so that we compete with our neighboring countries, and we retain our only the MICE segments into India. Now we have lot of the venues here. Lot of are under the consideration. Now again this the trade fair is coming now. Already we have in Noida. We have in Dwarka also. I'm talking about nearby, in Delhi nearby. In other stations also, all the state tourism boards are very, very aware about that. How to promote the venues, how to promote the MICE. So that's a very good sign for India, and it's a big revenue generated. The machine is exactly I should say. Once we have the people, if they can understand that, definitely it will generate a lot of revenue for India, and whatever is going out of India, it will be retained in India. So we have to little bit consider about the taxation policies. Once the government agrees on that and they really implement on that, I think we'll be number one globally. Let me tell you, India has a big population. You know the figure you must be knowing, this November and December, 35 lakh marriages happen in India. In November and December, 2 months only I'm talking. I'm not talking about the after January, February, March, April. In 2 months, 35 lakhs. So with a 1 lakh 40,000 crore population, every year, I mean almost 1 crore marriages is happening. So, but only I'm talking marriages. I'm not talking about the conventions, conferences, or meetings. I'm not talking about this. So this can generate a lot of good revenue for the country, and it can generate more employment for our country and more revenue generation, capital expenditure for our country. That's exactly what I want to say.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna, for bringing such inspiring and motivating perspective of yours and letting us get closer to the industry with a more detailed look. So, any last words that you'd like to share for the industry and the audience?
I would like to say yes, of course, India is a great country, and instead of thinking, the first see your own house and to promote our own domestic tourism, but in a right way, with a professional way, and no doubt we will be globally leader in the tourism. That's all.
Mr. Khanna. With this, we come to the end of today's interaction with the very special Mr. PP Khanna. I'm mesmerized to have your presence today, sir, and I'm sure the audience joining us is also delighted to know about the details through the T3 podcast series, Bolder Voices, Better Insights. Thank you, sir, for taking out your precious time and talking to us. And at the same time, I would also like to thank the lovely audience who have been with us throughout the journey. This is me, Kuhilika Roy Chaudhary, signing off. But stay connected, as we shall be back with another interesting conversation with a new voice and more detailed insights on the industry. And also, do not forget to explore our previous episodes. So stay tuned and thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, last thing I would like to know from you is one message for T3 audience and SATTE audience.
Yes, T3 and SATTE is the only platform which really connects to not only the India and the Asia and the globally to everybody. So don't miss the SATTE, don't miss the T3, all the news and the informations. That's very, very important for all of us because it gives the new generation, the news to all of us and brings a lot of new things which even we are not aware about that. So the best of luck to all of you and best wishes to T3 and the SATTE.